Hey, John.
Hey Eric, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing well, doing well. I've got a bunch of my little projects going on, and for the first time I have used up all my Claude tokens, all my Copilot tokens, and I'm currently, as we speak, cranking away on my anti-gravity tokens. See if I can actually max them all out
You're like,
in one day.
bet you can't burn them all. Um,
It's been fun though. It's
okay,
a fun little
okay.
side project, so we'll see.
Always, always. Yeah, I did a couple of things. Like, so I still have my Hermes agent running,
Uh-huh.
and I was off for a couple days this past week. Took a long weekend, and went to New York for something. I'll do something fun. That'll be one of my
That'll
something
be your
funs at the
fun.
very
Yeah.
end.
Okay.
But my wife and I were there mainly to go to a showing at the Met on Raphael,
Mm-hmm.
which I forget if I mentioned that before or not, which was awesome. But that will be that's gone now, so you
Yeah.
can't go see that. But anyway, it was kind of nice. I was able to hit my agent up remotely a couple of times for some specific things, and I still have the iMessage integration running, even though that's not actually merged to main. And when I got home, I updated it, or it updated itself, which I really appreciate. I think that it's just so kind of fractal or recursive of it.
Mm.
I'm like, hey, what are the updates? And it'll list the updates, and then you should just take all the merges to main and merge them into our thing because we don't want to break our iMessage integration. I don't want to break our iMessage. It's clever. I like it.
Mm.
I wish that it was on Anthropic instead of
Mm-hmm.
GPT at the
I
moment, but
I have found so I have all my little side projects are all in GitHub, of course.
yeah.
And if I have a harebrained idea while I'm out and about on my phone, I'll go to my project, I'll start an agent session, and I'll say, "Go fix this and create a PR and let me know when you need a review." And since it's all automated, I have it hooked up with Xcode Cloud. I approve
Uh,
it, merge the PR, and 5 minutes later, I have the app updated on my phone. I did this while sitting in the movie theater before watching a
that's
movie this
That's
week.
pretty cool. That's pretty cool. That is definitely.
Uh,
I've been trying to get a bunch of infrastructure to work for that.
yeah,
Um, and I don't know. I kind of have wanted to do it myself instead of like have us just a service do it. But
I am
maybe I
inherently
should.
lazy, which is why I have always bought Macs and didn't build my own Windows machines. Had we started this podcast 20 years ago, this would have been the conversation why Eric buys Macs instead of
Yeah,
cheaper window
yeah,
building your own Windows machine for half the price.
yeah. Exactly.
Because I'm lazy. I don't want
My
to do
my my
that.
legs are literally leaned up on my Hackintosh under my desk that has not been turned on in 5 years, but acts as a perfect leg cushion.
Turn it on, it'd be a warmer too.
Yeah, such a waste, such a waste. But and I'm looking over at my little tower of three computers over there and my three laptops over there and the screen
Hmm.
that you convinced me to buy that's up there that I anyway.
Uh,
It's ridiculous.
it's a nice little screen. I took it with me. I was traveling in this week for, again, traveling for work this week. Good stuff. But I did take my little side monitor for the hotel afterwards, and
And and it worked. I
I love it.
I have
And my
not
little
taken it
3D
on a
printed
trip.
legs, my little 3D printed roller legs, so the cables will slide, worked perfectly. I mean, I had tested out beforehand, but I
That's
was
awesome.
I was pleased as punch. The only problem was I had to pack it in my suitcase, and I was in the boarding group where we get on the board. This all right. So this is Eric's going to whine for a little bit and
Oh,
complain
I'm
for a little
sorry.
bit for first world problems. But I happen to have I was it was flying back home Wednesday night on Southwest, and I was in group 7, and there's only 8 groups,
Oh,
and it was a full flight, and they kept asking for people to bring. And I'm like, please just let enough other people do it. Apparently, enough other people didn't do it. And when it got to group 7, they said, I'm sorry, everybody in group 7 and 8, we're going to have to check all your bags. And I get down to my seat. You know what is above me?
An empty space.
Numerous empty bins that closed empty. So whatever math the person that was doing that did, and anyways, it was.
That was a fairness thing of we need
yeah,
we can let 7 people in, but
yeah,
or they just don't know what's coming down the pike.
No, there were so many empty bins, and I was not the only one mentally grumbling about it. The person who sat next to me was like, "Why is this happening? There's plenty of spaces. Why aren't?" Several people were grumbling about that. So, all right, enough of.
Well, since I was on a flight, I have a minor little story.
Yeah.
For you as well. A, this is John's a bad person, but also B, I kind of had a moment with the steward person because I got to board with the early group, so that's not like that. But I have a big backpack that I'm carrying these days.
Yep.
And so I put both my carry-on and my backpack up. And my wife's like, "You're a bad person. You should not do that." And I was like, I've been on so many flights where they say check, but then they'll close the bins that's empty. If somebody comes on and they're having to check, they're going to have to like turn around, I will totally get up and move my backpack. Like that was my rationale. A little bit to her later, but like literally as I'm standing up, I got my iPad out. I put my backpack up there. The steward was kind of condensing like just a bunch of loose stuff from clearly the person in front of me, so that another full roller bag could fit up there.
Right.
And then kind of just kneeled down in the row opposite us. And meanwhile, the guy in front of me stands up and like spreads it all out again, like furiously, like, "What the heck are you doing touching my stuff?" And like literally spreads it out, but angrily. And like the steward's kind of sitting opposite me looking at, and I look at him and I was like, "What in the world?" You can't see my eyes. My eyes are very big. Like, what in the world is going on? And the steward looks at me like, "What in the world?" Like, okay. And I mean, clearly the steward was right there. I totally put his 2 bags up right in front of him. But he and I had a bit of a little like, holy crap, like people are crazy.
Yeah.
To which, anyway. And there was plenty of space. They had been asking at the top, but like there were so many empty bins that I didn't feel guilty.
Well, if I'm on the way home, I usually, when they say check your bag, or if I'm going somewhere and I don't have stuff in my bag, I am the first one up there because I by the time you get there, it's already out on the anyways, and it's gonna get on the plane because it's right there.
It's gate checked.
Yeah. So I don't have a problem doing it. It was just this one time where I had that new little monitor in the bag. I'm like, I'm going to have to pull something out.
Did it make it home?
Yeah. The bag made it home, but I unzipped it and carried on my monitor.
Because you didn't want that to get squished.
Because I didn't want it thrown around in the back. Because it's got a little case, fragile. But it's a very thin case. So it probably would have been fine, but she's
discretion.
It was. I said, "Can I take something out?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, no problem." So I mean, they were. I should say they were very nice about it. This wasn't angry people. This wasn't This wasn't, "Oh, you're a horrible person for not checking your bag," or, "Oh, you should have known that this was going to happen." They were very polite and very nice, but you kind of get on the plane and you're like, they're closing about 7 empty bins in the back. Why did I grumble? So anyways.
Yeah.
No worries.
Yeah. Well, one other, I don't know, this is maybe on the TMI side, but the reason we're recording on Thursday is because I had dental surgery yesterday and it's a little swollen and I think I'm operating at maybe not peak capacity, but there was somebody, evidently I didn't get back to him. He was like, "Hey, are we good to meet?" This is yesterday at like 3:00. Am I good to meet you at 3 today? And I was like, I am really sorry that I didn't see that or cancel that because I will be visiting the endodontist, and I would so much rather see you.
Exactly.
And so anyway, yeah. So
Okay.
like I slept very well last night.
Good. Good.
But I'm not sure that I should have made any major life decisions in the last 24 hours.
You did not operate any heavy machinery.
Yeah.
No tractor driving.
My wife has said she's had to explain explain some things to me a couple of times. So today, after she got home from work, and I guess maybe kind of after I'm on like liquids basically for a few days here,
Right.
and so I'll use the word dinner loosely. She was like, "What else? What do you remember?" And I was like, "Can you just tell me like how the surgery went?" Because I don't remember what you said, and there was no paperwork that I saw.
Right.
So supposedly fine.
Oh, good.
Awesome.
Okay, good.
I'll wait for the biopsy, but
All right.
yeah.
All right.
Anyway,
All right.
life goes on.
So really quick, I know you're a sports ball fan. World Cup,
Oh yeah,
U.S.
there were so many jerseys in New York.
I
everywhere.
I bet.
Like Norway, clearly, and Senegal, I think, was the yellows.
Okay.
And like,
Yeah.
they were having some parties in Times Square. Like,
Awesome.
yeah. Anyway, yeah, it was very clear that stuff was happening.
Well, today we're finishing up the group stages, and today, like an hour ago, just finished the last U.S. Turkey game. And if the U.S. had won, so preeminent, there's your hint. It would have been the first time they got 9 points in the group stage and advanced undefeated. They were tied into the 97th minute, which means it's 90 minutes is the game, but there was 7 minutes of extra time, or I think 8 minutes of extra time tacked on to the end, and Turkey scored, and then they called the game. So literally, the last play of the game was Turkey scoring and beating the U.S. It didn't matter because the U.S. had already clinched first place, and technically Turkey is already out of the group, so they're going home no matter win or lose. It was,
but they're going home with a little bit of
bit of glory. We beat the U.S. So
does that mean close. It was 1-0 or
it was 3-2? So it was,
okay.
Yeah, it was.
So it wasn't.
It was a fun game. It was a fun game to watch, and I think I said last time we've been watching these all on Telemundo in Spanish because I don't have Fox. I don't have the English streaming service to watch these. It is way more fun to watch games in Spanish. I'll just leave that there.
Football is life.
See, Ted Lasso. Well done.
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
Should we move on?
I did watch those. A series I watched.
All right.
Which I very much enjoyed.
And
so I know everything I know about football I learned from
watching Ted Lasso.
Which is not zero, but also probably not what anybody would consider a first grade level. Anyway. All right. Yeah.
Well, you ready for a topic?
Yes, hit me.
All right, so this one is CISA has officially added 3 maximum severity vulnerabilities impacting Ubiquiti Unify networking systems, which I think that's you, isn't that, John?
That is me.
So, and these aren't just theoretical threats anymore. Attackers are actively abusing these flaws out in the wild to drop malware. So there's 3 CVEs. So the first one is an input validation issue that lets attackers inject commands. And then there's a path traversal flaw allowing them to dig into the underlying system files. And finally, there's an access control bug that lets them make unauthorized system changes. So just if you want to know how bad this actually is.
That seems
Um,
bad.
there was a group that dropped a proof of concept that showed the attacker only needs to send one single request to chain these together, bypass security, and get a reverse shell with full root privileges on your Unify OS.
Easa.
So the good news, Ubiquiti actually rolled out patches for these flaws late last month, so they're ready to go if you haven't updated. John, hint, hint.
I'm literally logging in right now to change my password.
If you're not on auto updating, make sure you've got your stuff updated.
But I will be
to the right versions. So there you go. That's I saw this one and thought of you, John, since I know you've been traveling, and you have the Ubiquiti stuff.
I do.
So there you go.
I do. It's not letting. Anyway, sorry. Okay, thank you for making me go. Ooh, yikes!
Anybody with you?
It should
Unify
be
stuff.
updating. It should be updating.
You should check
I can go look at that right now.
You should check your installs. All right, there you go. That's what I got for tonight.
Yowza! Sorry, now it's making me change my password. Probably a good thing, but okay, I'll do that when I'm not actually actively
in the middle of a
podcast. Well, you
can cut this part out.
I clearly haven't. That is true. I'm the editor. Yowza! Whew. I'm sure I've got auto update on, but I will check right after we're done. Okay, mine is also about exploits, kinda. But it's about so this is based on a Kaspersky article, but they reported a crimeware campaign using WhatsApp desktop and web users. So this is not, this is kind of nasty because like one of the things that humans use first judge is, do I know who sent me this? And if something comes from a known contact, there's a lower barrier to trust in general, as opposed to something from somebody you don't know. So attackers are sending malicious files through WhatsApp, not from a weird account or something else, but from basically compromising somebody's WhatsApp account so that the messages that contain files with attachments are coming from existing contacts. File names are boring on purpose: invoices, statements, payments, debt notices, the sort of thing that makes a small business user or a finance user go, fine, let me take a look.
Yeah.
So, it's not like WhatsApp got hacked in sort of a platform sense, but it's more that, if you've had a compromised WhatsApp account, all of your contacts can get sent emails. This is a little bit better than I'm sure you've gotten the emails where, it's clear somebody in your contacts was also on or was compromised, and then you get a bunch of stuff from. I mean, every time somebody sends out a list to a bunch of CC'd people, I'm like, curses. I mean, my emails have all been out there.
Exactly.
That kind of drives me crazy. So this is a little bit better than that in the sense that, if it's not like it's not coming from an unknown person. It's worse that it's coming from somebody clearly in your contacts that has been hacked. Mm-hmm. But if you're on Windows and you open it using the WhatsApp desktop, the script will pull down other pieces and eventually install remote management software. Basically same software. I don't know. I assume things like PC Anywhere or PC desktop control. Software that lets. Same thing that IT would use to remotely control machines. So it's generally distributed via malicious VB script files in these direct messages. meant to look like, in some cases, Windows Update components. So the infection chain will create a folder underneath the user documents, run additional scripts through Windows script host, and potentially download a compressed archive containing the remote management software. So the interesting thing about this is that it's unremarkable from a file payload, right? Like that's the thing is if people see things that are, I'm not going to touch that. In generally, they might not, but try to hide, maybe in a skin of banality or something like that. Like it just looks boring, but that's all it takes is for you to double click on something and run it. So another kind of important thing, though, is that messaging apps are business infrastructure, whether companies formally bless them or not. So, I mean, if somebody's running this on a corporate machine, that's ingress. So the security operations would presumably have a thing or two to say about that. And also, when people are frustrated by, hey, why won't the security team let me do ABC? This is one of those reasons. So especially if you use desktop messaging software, if a friend, family member, vendor, coworker sends you a surprise file over WhatsApp, just because it came from their account isn't enough. Their account may be the thing the attacker's using. Be especially suspicious of VBS, VBE, exe, BAT, executable files, including scripts, JavaScript, PowerShell, attachments. Never run them. And sometimes depending on what you're doing and who you're contacting, out of band message, similar to like don't accept the inbound call from your credit card company. Maybe call the number on the back of your credit card.
Yeah,
you can always check with somebody before you do something that you will eventually come to regret. Basically, from if on the enterprise side, lock down script host where feasible if there are endpoints that don't need it, and treat consumer messaging apps as part of the threat model, not a side channel outside security. That's for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. The article will be linked here, and if a channel allows files, it can be abused.
I just, so not tangential, I'll call it. I just got an email from a guy who I know who said, hey, I've got those photos you asked for, and the URL was very obvious to me that it was a malicious. It was like one of those random letter URLs. But I paused because that is exactly something. We were just at an event together, and he was taking pictures and said, hey, I'll send you some of the pictures. So it made sense to me that this might have happened. But my email to him, or I actually text messaged him and said, your email has been compromised. You might want to check and see if it's your machine or if just someone is spoofing because it's on Gmail. So it shouldn't, in theory, should not be spoofed from his email, probably compromised. But because I've always wondered, why do people actually click on this type of random stuff that makes no sense? And this was that's why, because when you send it to 100 million people, 5 or 10 are probably going to say that makes total sense, like I did. And I should know.
Yeah. You're a pro. And you know better.
Fortunately, eyeballing the URL, it wasn't obfuscated behind a click here. It was just the link. So, but still, it works. And
it does indeed.
I got it. All right.
It does indeed. All right. Something fun tonight.
Okay. So my something fun is, as we had previously established, Eric is lazy. Uh, I was very excited to see. So for the first time, I was flying back from San Jose, and I have the clear and TSA pre-check thing, and I get up there, and usually the clear guy or the clear person, you take your picture, and they walk you into the front of the line with the TSA person, and then
Yeah.
they beep you, right? This
Yeah.
time it was like you have the option to send all this information to TSA digitally right here, or I can walk you over and beep you. I'm like, all right, I'll do digital. And I had to accept. I don't know what it did. Whatever. Which was kind of cool. So I talked to no TSA people. I didn't have to smile for any. I mean, I smiled for the clear camera, but which was interesting.
So they didn't even take a second picture at the TSA line.
No, at the TSA line they didn't. It was just the clear picture,
person.
and then I got up to another window, and he said, "You have a choice here. You can do this new touchless service where it will just send it on your behalf to TSA, or I can walk you up to the TSA line, and TSA will take your picture and do the whole thing." I'm like, okay, cool. Well, anyways, so this one is Google just announced that they are teaming up with TSA to bring the TSA pre-check touchless ID, which is similar to everybody, right inside your Android phone. So touchless ID isn't completely new, but up until now, it's kind of a pain. My very first experience with it was 2 nights ago. Last night, actually, I guess. Boy, time flies. And you could only use it on a very small number of airlines. It had to be a certain type of airports, et cetera, et cetera. There was a lot of stuff that you had to do. So Google Wallet now, and you can bet Apple Wallet will follow.
Will follow 6 months later.
Fast, air quote, fast follow. Apple's busy upping the prices on everything they have. That you'll be able to do your TSA pre-check and save your passport and boarding stuff right into your wallet. And when you get there, you just hit go and you walk right through, and you don't have to talk to anybody. It just beeps it all through, which that will be cool if this will be much faster. I'm sure there are humans in a room watching cameras and seeing the data come up, and yes, that person looks like what they said they did. I'm sure there's that stuff still going on, and you still have to go through the other line and go send your bag through the machine. But that's pretty cool. We're making it easier by giving up
and privacy. Well, I will tell you, so on the way home, so I guess this was Tuesday night, we were flying back home out of Newark, and it was at like 5 o'clock or something like that. So it was like a bad time. We wound up sitting on the tarmac for like an hour and a half, I think, before we took off. But when we got to the airport, for whatever reason, literally there was nobody in line. Like my wife and I have clear, so we like there was nobody in the TSA pre-check line. There was nobody in the clear line. There was nobody in the regular line. We literally walked up, said hi, here you go, took the pictures, like
walk through. Yep,
I've never seen that before. My wife was like, "What is this? Like, where is everybody? And what's going?" I mean, once you get through security,
is this a good sign?
Stuff,
it's like a restaurant with no one's in the restaurant on kind of like.
Yeah, I was kind of assuming. Yeah, I was wondering if was this line closed like just a few minutes before we got there or something. I have no idea. I don't. I have no idea. But it was one of those things where it was like, whoa. Okay, that's weird, but also awesome.
There you
go. Well, so as I said, I was in New York, and I will say before I say something fun, we went for the Raphael exhibit.
Mm-hmm.
I bought the Met membership specifically because I thought we might be there for 2 days. It's the same year membership for twice the price of a day.
Yeah, exactly.
And the Met is crazy crazy huge. Like
Yeah.
I have been there before, but I forgot. Like
Yeah.
and like even the day before, I think we went to lunch the day before I left, and I was like, I'm trying to figure out what's going to go wrong. Like, and but nothing went wrong.
Okay.
Really,
Good.
but they even sent an email that they had met like member only entrance at like 9 a.m. and they would normally open at 10 a.m. So I was like,
Okay.
awesome, let's get there Saturday. Like Saturday's going to be nuts at
Right.
the Met, but
Mm-hmm.
if we can go in early, that, and we did, and it was wonderful. And we wound up going to the Met Cloisters on the third day, which is a separate set of also interesting stuff. But
Okay.
so I totally got my money's worth out of the Met tickets. But my
Nice.
something fun was going to be the Frick collection,
Okay.
which is so basically we were like there for 3 days, and we went to three museums: the
Mm-hmm.
Met, the Frick, and Met Cloisters. But the Frick Museum is they were closed for a couple of years while they did a big remodel of the whole thing. But it's basically in I think it was Henry Frick, like a mansion right on Fifth
Uh-huh.
Avenue there. Industrialist. I think he was in iron or something like that in the railroad era, and collected a bunch of art and turned his mansion into a museum after
Uh-huh.
passing. In fact, when they opened it up, it was like the first floor is the museum, the second floor was where the family lived, and then the third floor was servants.
Okay.
Evidently. Anyway, net. But obviously, it's just a museum at this point. Super cool, much more intimate than the Met. I mean, it's doable
Yeah.
in a few
Yeah. Yeah.
hours. But one of the things that one of the artists that we have looked at a lot, and like even among sort of quote unquote real art, really seems to stand out is Vermeer. And
Yeah.
the Frick has three Vermeers that
Mm-hmm.
were cool. Although the Met has five, but in anyway, the Met, you're just like, oh my gosh, Monet. Anyway,
Yeah.
so many famous paintings. But the Frick is a great experience, and I really enjoyed a little bit shorter day because I think we closed down the Met. It was an 11-hour Met day
Ooh.
the day before, like 9 to 8.
But see, that's what you can do when you don't
And
have kids tagging along with you. You can do that.
exactly. Our children would have hated every minute other than the arms and armor exhibit.
Okay.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, if you're in New York, go see the Frick collection. It's totally worth your time. But you do need reservations tickets.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I had bought tickets ahead of time for a timed entry.
Okay. I'm glad they were successful.
It was good. Yep, the trip was great. The trip was great.
All right.
It's been 14 years since my wife and I were in New York together. At least I've been to New York a couple times,
Uh-huh.
but time goes fast.
Mm-hmm.
Time goes fast. Anyway,
Time
all
flies
right.
faster than tokens burned in a
Uh,
Claude code
well, it
session.
depends on how many terminals you've got open.
Fair. Fair.
All right, my friend. All right.
Yep. All right. Have a good night.
Have a
We'll
good
see you,
night,
John.
Eric. I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.